The man went to the room to get a soda. When he came back, he discovered that his wife had vanished. Then he received a call from the kidnapper, who threatened Nick to hand over $5 million in exchange for his wife. Nick called the police and pleaded with them to rescue Lena. The police reviewed the surveillance footage from that day and found that the camera malfunctioned after Nick left. When the footage resumed, Lena was already gone. Everyone was puzzled. At that moment, officer noticed something unusual. Lena's call log only had Nick's name on it. It seemed that Nick had complete control over his wife. Just then, the sheriff received a call. A colleague had found an informed journalist. The journalist recalled that during an interview, he had taken a few photos of Lena, but Nick had flown into a rage and never gave another interview again. So the sheriff immediately had his colleague follow up on Nick. At that moment, the housekeeper arrived. The housekeeper remembered seeing Nick and Lena arguing one day. Nick had threatened Lena, saying he would make her pay. At that time, the sheriff was shocked to find a report. He immediately confronted Nick. There was no marriage record in the household registration report. Lena was not his wife at all, and his wife's real name wasn't Lena either. The sheriff suspected that Nick had kidnapped Lena. Faced with the police's questioning, Nick finally told the truth. 5 years ago, Nick was still poor. One day, he found a strange lamp that reminded him of Aladdin's magic lamp. So he tried to recite the spell. To his surprise, a man actually appeared. Nick was puzzled. The man claimed to be a genie from the lamp and could grant him 3 wishes. However, he could only bring what Nick wanted from other places. Nick immediately wished to become a wealthy man. The genie disappeared for a moment and then reappeared with a suitcase. The suitcase was indeed filled with money. Nick was overjoyed. He then made his second wish for a beautiful wife. Soon, the genie brought Lena. Nick was worried that she might be someone else's wife. The genie assured him not to worry. He had already erased Lena's memory, so they lived happily together. He didn't allow photos to be taken because he was afraid that Lena's family would come looking for her. When the police asked what his third wish was, Nick hadn't even started to speak when the phone suddenly rang.